Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of the program. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate, and it does it with Colorado's Real Estate Authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot. And Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you again. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. And if you can't listen to the entire show because you're going from one place to another, it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or just search podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Every week, the Real Estate Voice show covers information and about every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about people's primary assets, your home. So, Barb, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, Richard, I'm excited to talk about the very first segment is going to cover our number one question. What should I fix and what should I not fix when I get my home ready for sale? That's very common. And of course, every home is different. So you really need a customized in-home consultation to make that happen. And we offer that at no cost or obligation. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to avoid red flags on the home inspection. So it's probably the most frustrating part for most home sellers and buyers because everybody wants it to go well, right? They don't really want to start over and go find another house, and the sellers don't want to lose the buyer. However, there are some things that they will scrutinize, and we've got some solutions to help you get ready for that part as well. We're also going to cover how to maximize your sales price when you sell your home. There's some tips on exactly how to get everything right so you get the most amount of money. And then the very last topic is really about buying, how to find the perfect home before you sell your current home. Because if you don't have a destination, you're probably not going to move. And then, of course, I always love covering our hot new listings. Richard?
So, Barb, if someone is thinking of selling their home, what are some of the top things a home seller should fix, and what should they not fix when they're preparing their homes for sale?
Well, Richard, that question is our number one question that we get from home sellers because some people go too far in making everything perfect, and they may not get the money out of their investment. Um, but it really depends on the home's price range. It depends on the market conditions. It depends on the area competition. So you really need an expert to help you get a good plan together on how you're going to approach the sale of the home. I have one that's on the market this week that is a total fixer-upper. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to sell that home as is. They priced it appropriately. The phone has been blowing up since we activated the listing. We decided, as myself and the seller, that rather than have a gazillion people go in and look at the home, we have, in those situations, we've had it where agents go in to show and they forget to lock the doors, they leave the lights on, they take the key if it's a red hot property so nobody else can look at it. So we're not going to open the door for that situation. What we're going to do is we're setting up two open houses, and everybody will have a chance to come and check it out, and then we'll look at offers afterwards. I'm already getting offers and nobody has gone in to see it yet. But how you present the home and how you price the home are things that work together. They may not necessarily be the prettiest home, but if it's priced right, you'll still create demand. However, if you're going the full-on retail where you want to get the most amount of money, the online presentation of the home is absolutely critical because we know that buyers eliminate homes online in less than a minute. And beyond that, they're not going to drive by, they're not going to revisit the property. They've already eliminated it off of their list as being one of the homes that they want to see. And if you look at some of the studies, like the National Association of Realtors talks about how much will you get for remodeling? What is the return on your investment? Some returns on your investment are good, like flooring, especially if your carpet is thrashed. It's better to replace the flooring, even if it's carpet. So I get this objection a lot, and it makes sense. They'll say, well, if I put a new carpet, what if they don't like the carpet? And then when they close on it, they turn around and just pull it out, and then I've wasted that money. Well, I know that happens on occasion. However, a majority of the buyers just want to move in, drop their stuff, and get on with their lives. They they're not necessarily uber critical about what type of flooring it is or what color of flooring it is, as long as it's fresh and in really good condition. However, if you have old tired carpet with traffic stains or whatever kind of stains on the floor, or even hardwood floors that show traffic stains over time, the buyers, number one, may not make an offer. And if they do make an offer, it's going to be exponentially less than what it would cost to replace that one cosmetic thing. I had one client where they actually had put Berber carpet over the top of hardwood floors. Do you know what Berber is? It's kind of,
Really, describe it, Barb.
it's instead of shag, it kind of has a rounded texture on the top of it, and it actually hides dirt probably more than shag, but it has a little bit of a dated appearance. And if you do have any stains on it over time or any traffic areas, it's kind of hard to get out. And so some of the people in my generation and older, they don't want to live with hardwood floors because it might be colder. They might prefer to put carpet over it. But in this case, this home seller, what they did was that he knew there was hardwood floors underneath it. He had some remodeling skills, and so he actually pulled that Berber carpet and recoated the hardwood and filled all the holes, and it looked amazing, and it sold for 40,000 over asking price. However, if you hire somebody to do that work, it's going to cost more money than just putting in fresh carpet. Remember the brazen hussy red carpet story, Richard?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I had one client in that situation where I walked in the door and I went, uh-oh, the whole main level was covered in brazen hussy red shag carpet. And it was put in the 80s, and this was 2018. So it wasn't in great shape. That was one issue. The other issue was the red color. So anytime you decorate with red, guess what? It jumps off the page on camera and on the pictures online, and it turns to a fuchsia color, and people can't get past it. They're just going to move on. So you really want to neutralize as much as you can. And so in this case, I had this, what I thought was a brilliant idea, to pull the carpet and recoat the floor. However, it was more expensive to have a contractor recoat it versus just going in and replacing it with fresh carpet. And that home sold for 30,000 over asking price. You do definitely want to fix obvious deferred maintenance, bad flooring, any broken stuff. Curb appeal is really important, so make sure the whole front area looks great. And the way I learned this, I still do handle homes that have been taken back in foreclosure. And they have these guys called asset managers. These guys are handling sales for thousands of homes all across the country. So they have way more depth of experience than even I do. And they're just turning and burning properties. They know exactly how to sell homes. And this one guy told me, he goes, look, you're my eyes on the ground. If you see that the carpet needs to be replaced, you need to tell me, because all it takes is for the carpet to be bad, the buyers to reject it. And if they do make an offer, it's going to be 4 or 5 times more than the cost of just replacing that carpet. So you need to tell me if that's the situation. So that's where I learned that. And it's so true. And what we're finding these days is most of them just flat out won't make an offer if it needs any work. 40% of the buyers won't make an offer if a home needs a lot of work. Mostly because of cash. That's one of the reasons. But some of the things that you should fix for sure. Peeling paint on the outside, because if you get a buyer that's getting an FHA or VA loan, VA is not limited by price, FHA is. Any broken windows, FHA, VA will require that to be repaired. You can repair it or even pay the repaired invoice out of the closing. Missing stair rails, any safety trip hazards, curb appeals critical, cosmetic stuff is critical. So you may not have to do a full-on remodel, but maybe it'll be enough just to do flooring and a couple of light fixtures. But let us do that for you. We'll come in, take a look at your space, and give you a really good idea on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale so you get the most money without spending the most money. And so these are the 6 key spaces you should focus on: curb appeal, the backyard, the view, the living room, the kitchen, the master bathroom, and the master bedroom. And so we'll work with that. We'll help you do that. Some other things that are kind of out of style are faux paint. Are you familiar with faux paint, Richard? That kind of muted texture, Tuscan look?
Yeah, I've seen that in a bunch of restaurants like 20 years ago where it was kind of a thing, but I didn't know it was, is it still a thing?
It's okay to have like a powder bath that has a kind of paint on it, but some people went all in and did their whole house and spent a lot of money to get this faux paint. And it's just, you better off just a nice neutral cream, or what they call grayish is in style. Just a neutral color is fine. You want to neutralize any kind of dramatic accent walls. Turquoise, purple, red, those are all things that could cause a buyer to just turn their nose up at the house. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what not to fix. And then if you'd like to get an in-home consultation, you can give us a call anytime at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you can always reach her at 719-301-3900. If you're in your car, you can't listen to the entire show. You can always catch Barb on her YouTube channel, barbhasthebuyers.com. Of course, we've been talking about what you should and should not be doing. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about how to avoid red flags when there's a home inspection. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned for it.